If you're an American, if you are broke, if you're struggling financially, you are also not alone. Welcome to the club. You're in good company. The middle class is being decimated in the United States of America. We're hearing story after story of families not able to make ends meet. But what does this mean for the precious metals? What does it mean for the silver price and gold price? We're going to talk about that in this video because, guys, we are heading into some very difficult financial times. Crisis like many of us probably have never seen in our lifetimes. We need to be prepared. We need to have our heads pulled up out of the sand and be cognizant of what is going on around us, because we will likely have opportunities to make moves that will protect ourselves and protect our families. Investing in silver and gold can be difficult at times. I want you to know you always have a refuge here in the basement with me, where we can have some camaraderie and support for one another as we navigate these choppy waters. I'll put out a new video every day, something valuable about silver and gold. It would be my honor if you join me. Please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. Raising a family, it's difficult under the best of circumstances, but we're going to hear some heartbreaking stories from families who are trying to make ends meet in this economic environment, and they are basically facing crisis-type situations. And look, we know what's going on. Interest rates shooting higher, putting more and more stress on the American families. Are you feeling it? Do you feel it when you go do your weekly grocery shopping? What about when you fill your car up with gas? And it's only going to get worse. Housing, medical costs soaring out of control. People just cannot survive. Do you think we're going to see a wave of bankruptcies in the coming year? Individual families that just throw their hands up and say, sorry, we can't make it anymore. But what's going to happen with the Fed when that occurs? If things really crash, get that bad, and it won't just be individuals, it'll be corporations, maybe even the U.S. government, because nobody's going to have money to buy all this debt that Janet Yellen's going to be trying to push down everyone's throats. The Fed and Jerome Powell are going to be backed further into a corner. And you know what happens when that occurs. We're going to cover that a little more at the end of the video. But first, I want to tell you what's going on out there. Look, Deutsche Bank predicted a 100% chance of a recession within the coming year. Now think about this. We already have families under huge stress. If they start facing situations like unemployment, a recession, things could get really bad. Like, supposedly, according to the mainstream media, everything's fine right now. The economy, Joe Biden, economic miracle, right? What are you complaining about? Everything's great. Look at unemployment, blah, blah. Imagine what will happen when things get worse. Even the World Bank has told us that the economies are probably facing a lost decade ahead of us. And I can tell you, it's really heartbreaking as a parent trying to navigate this economic storm that we're heading into. I mean, even last night, I'm heading home from the swim meet with my daughters, and they say, Daddy, can we get frozen yogurt? And do I have money to buy frozen yogurt? Yes, we do. But I know darn good and well that 4 frozen yogurts, heck, it almost costs $30 now. And that money can be put to other uses within our household. 3-4 years ago, maybe the frozen yogurt, still expensive, but maybe it was closer to $15 for all 4 of us. Things are getting very tight out there. Let me read you some other stories from families. This is from an article on on Zero Hedge, written by Michael Snyder. He pulled some comments. People are heading to Facebook now to talk about the turmoil that they're facing. This lady says, we're feeling it. It's embarrassing to admit we're struggling so much with what we make combined, but we aren't spenders. I broke down everything our money is going to, and they're genuinely all necessity items. Maybe I can penny pinch more with groceries and stuff, but I'm just completely overwhelmed. And that's what we hear over and over. Americans are feeling overwhelmed because the middle class has been just decimated, shrunk, squeezed, right? The people at the top, they're doing great. You know, the top 1%, top 4 or 5%, they're doing wonderfully. They've done well in the stock market. They've sucked all the wealth out of the middle class into a very small segment of the upper class. So they're doing great. But the middle class, who still feels like they want to provide for their family, they are in absolute dire straits. This lady says she's so happy for summer so she doesn't have to pay tuition payments for her kids. Less laundry. But it's like, I don't know how we're going to survive every month. And then I needed to go to the dentist. And now I just want to cry. If you want to cry, you're not alone. It is very, very difficult out there. This person says, it's not just you, right? You aren't alone in this. We aren't alone in this struggle. Sometimes I have to choose what bill takes priority over another. I live paycheck to paycheck, and every penny is for a bill. There's never anything left over. I'm a single mom, but I've been a single mom on my own for years. I used to have money left over for my hair and fun things like jump time at the trampoline park with the kids. But now all of our quote-unquote fun activities are free activities like nature walks, swimming in ponds, that type of thing. Guys, the middle class is being squeezed. If we actually do go into a recession and it gets even worse, we are going to see one after another, like the popcorn popping in the, the heat's getting up, the corn's not popped yet, but when the popcorn starts popping, we're going to have a bankruptcy explosion like we've never seen in this country. And where does that leave silver and gold? These people, they can't buy silver or gold right now to protect themselves against inflation. It's too late for them, right? Maybe you still have the opportunity. Maybe you already took the opportunity. If you have, my hat's off to you. But when all of this comes together, the confluence of badness that we're going to experience, unfortunately, the Fed is going to be cornered. The only thing they're going to be able to do is print money, right? They're going to need to monetize the debt of the United States. They're going to need to print money just to save the economy from going from a recession to a possible depression. And when that happens, that'll probably be the final show. That's when I think it's very possible that we could see an explosion in the gold price and the silver price. That's when we take the blindfold off the bear, right? When gold hits 2,500, little Smitty there, the silver bear, when silver hits $85 per ounce. That's what we have to look forward to in the future. Now, we don't want to do this on the backs of pain and suffering by our fellow Americans, but the reality is what it is. We aren't here. We didn't cause it. We certainly didn't cause it. We can thank our leaders in Washington who were supposed to be looking out for us, but really, I think we would all agree, have for the most part dropped the ball. It's going to be interesting. I'll be here for you through it all. You know that. Come back to the basement. But for now, why don't you go watch a live stream?